So to remind you, we basically got to the point. I will retake those one away again. Just remove the links here so we don't get an error. And I will put back just to remind you what we did. We basically had the customer page. Okay, and let's look at the screen to remind you what we did. Python manage.py run server, and we running it. Good. If you remember, we went to the billing program, we went to customers, yep, and I got an error. And why reverse not found? Hold a second, I might haven't done it right. Anybody can help me out? Anybody? Yeah, in fact, I didn't do this one right. I should have done it's this way. Sorry, my mistake. Now it should be okay. Good. We had the buttons. We saw that the buttons really is nothing different. It's just like this one. Nothing really different. This one we already have seen, okay? And in a minute, I will go over how does it really create a new user. And we will go over how each buttons is really allow me to view the information. For example, when I click here, now it will not do anything because I kind of removed everything, okay? But I'm going to activate all of them and go over each one of them. Okay, so let's see. Okay, by the way, as we can tell, they are all the buttons linked to the same application, the billings, meaning when I click here or here or here, all of them will go to the URL of the billings. That will activate different link. So let's look at that. The billings, we have this URL. And there should be here a function for each one of them, okay? So, by the way, the one that I'm already showing, hold a second, let me just double check that I'm using the right one. Yeah, I am. Okay, good. Each one of them, if I, in fact, the one that I really should look at the URL, it's this URL I need to. Okay, if I look at what I did here, okay, there's really 4 links. One is for the button. This is the button. And this one says, when you click on create new customer, click means click on this button. It's going to activate these connections. What is this one? It's going to go to the URL of the billings application. The billings applications, this is the application, this is the URL. Yes?
Excuse me, Dr. Amos.
Yeah.
The new student is the one with the iPhone.
Ah. Okay. Good to see. Let me see. I never saw her before. So let's make a big picture.
Darren, turn on your video, please.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to the Academy City.
Thank you. I'm excited to join.
I hope you'll catch up the material very fast.
I hope so.
At the end of the the semester, but I'm sure with the help of everyone, you can catch up. So you next month when we start certificate 2, you can join the certificate too.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mm.
Are you in the same room or you're joining from home?
Home.
Okay, wonderful. And how about computer? Do you have a computer already or?
I have a laptop.
Okay. Is it have enough memory and all of that?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So Jimmy can help you, by the way, with the installation. He's expert. By the way, everybody can really help you. And if you ask them, they will be more than happy to help you. I will be in Uganda next week, and hopefully you will join us our meetings. I'll be bringing with some computers, but I have a limited number, which will have all the stuff needed for all the courses we're teaching in Academy City. So, but that's, if you have one, you don't really need one. So that's good. It just on the applications. Good. So let's continue. And don't give up. Even participate in the session, even if you kind of jumping in the middle, don't be afraid. Eventually everything makes sense. Okay? So let's go back. And here we are. We have really 4 buttons. This is the first button for creating new customer. And then we have 3 buttons. If you notice, the code is very similar. All of them has an A and ending with an A, starting with an A, ending with an A, starting with an A, ending with an A. Inside, it's really what we say on the button. And it's really just styling, making it a nice button, rounded. This is really what this one do. And that's all the time. It's really, we do it in other certificates or even go by yourself, you can see. You can make all of those nice styling. That's where we dedicate more time in the other certificate. For now, what important is that when I click on one of those buttons, they will do something. And what they will do depends on what I write inside here. For example, this button, okay? This button, it says view. When I click on it, I would like to view the information of a specific customer. For example, if I click on this button, I would like to see the information about Amos Baranes, okay? If I click on the update, I would like to have another screen in which I might update the name, maybe I change the name or whatever it is. Delete, you will delete the whole record. Here, if we want to add a new record. So this is why we put that one separately. This is mean add a new one. And we'll see how all of those work. Let's start with create new customer, and then we go each one of those. But they have very similar in the structure. All of them have very similar. You see, they're starting with something like that, an A, and something in the middle. And then there is this one, the same things, A, something written here. And then in the middle of that, it's, it just say view. If I remove the span and the styling stuff, we just say plain view. But if I want it to look like a nice button, that's why we put the styling. For now, it's less of concern to us. Some things for the button of creating. Please notice, it says an A, something in the middle, and here it says create new customer. It makes it looks nice just because the styling we're adding here. And honestly, this is less challenging and very easy to learn. But that's why I'm not spending the time in certificate 1. We want to really understand the important concept. And the important concept is that I will have a button which will say create a new customer, and I want it to do this. What do I mean by that? What I mean is when somebody click here, go to the application debillings, and we have learned how to add applications. Debilling is this application. and I want you to go to its URL. Here it is, the URL, and go and look for a link with this name, create customer. So I double click here and I see if I can see a name, create customer. Indeed, I do have one. It's going to go to this one. Going to this one means is going to activate this function. And this function is written, as we already know, in the views file. What do I have in the views file? It's right in here. And here we go. This is the function. All we need to know now is to understand what does it do. Okay? But we understand the structure. And honestly, for certificate 1, 80% of the knowledge is understanding the structure of a web application. Now, let's understand what we really want to do when somebody accessing this function. So let's think about it. I'm going to click on it. I'm getting a screen. Is that right? So let's see how did I got that screen, by the way. Let's see how I got that screen. When I clicked, I got to this function, as we said before. I'm going to ignore this one for now. I'm going to ignore just for a short time. In a minute, I will come back to it. And by the way, you can see the reason I'm ignoring, because when we first time getting to this page, the method of getting this page, it is a get function, as I mentioned in the past. So I'm not worried about if the method is post, because the first time it's get. How do you know that I'm right, that I'm not lying? You can do it very simple. You can do print. That's a good way to check yourself. Request dot method. And let's see which method really open when first time, and you will see this one is not being called at all because the method is not going to be post. It's going to be a get. So this one is not going to really happen when the first time I'm opening the page. It's really everything is already inside here, and I'm going to go over that in 1 minute. Okay? So let's look at that. Let's go back. Refresh this screen. And up, what happened? Yeah, I know why. It's the same issue is that I put back all those links and they're giving us a hard trouble. You know what I will do? In fact, I'll just delete them. It will give me kind of annoying, not a nice table, but I don't really have to worry about them. Because I want to focus only on this function. So I'll put those one back in a minute, okay? I just want to focus on this one. So not to get an error, because I don't have the links yet, and a minute will make sure. See, I really lost those ones. I'll put them back in a minute. When I click here, please notice, I'm clicking here, this is opening up. If I want to see which method have been activated, that's why I printed it here. Let's look here. You see, it says here, whoever can see, it says get. Mean the method, the request method, it's get. Therefore, this condition is not holding, so I don't really care about it for now. And then it's giving me the template. Let's look at this template. Let's go to the billings. Let's go to the templates. Let's go to the data entry templates. And let's look at and see what we have here. We went over that last time. I will go over that one more time. Not last time, the one before last time. Let's go over that again. If I want a form, if I want a place to put data, like this one, this is called a form. I'm going to have a label first name and a place in which I can type my first name or whoever I want to put his first name. Here I have another label, another place to put information about the last name of the person. Eventually, I click submit and I would like this information to be sent and entered into the database. So let's see how it works. Here we go. In order to make a form, I have to start with this one. It says form. The action, I will leave it empty. The reason I leave it empty because is when somebody would click the submit button, this is, by the way, the button. This is what makes the button. It says input, type submit, class. You just make it looks like a nice button, and it's going to write submit data on it. So this one by itself, it is really this button, okay? And when I click on this one, what it's going to do is going to send all this information back to the same function, That's why we leave it empty, okay? Leaving it empty one more time, leaving this one empty. When I click on the submit, it will send all the information. All the information will explain in a second. That's why I'm going to go back to the view function. In the view function, our elements, I will get back to that, to what happened in the middle inside the function itself. But let's first of all understand how that works. I put a label. The label, it says first name. You see, this is just putting a little nice label before. This is already this part. And then I have a place I can type in. This place is an input element. If I look at it here, input element. See the input? I have a name. The name is very important. We're going to use. It says that you type a text. Placeholder, by the way, it's just giving me a hint or explanation. I can explain the person what am I asking him to put in there. For example, if you look, it says enter first name. This is the placeholder. Whatever I write in the placeholder, that is what I write here. For the last name I typed, enter a last name. Let's look at it one more time. And the second one, it says the name, last name, type its text, placeholder, enter a last name. By the way, when I say required, means if somebody doesn't enter the data and try to click on the submit, it will not submit it. Let's try it, okay? If I click submit, hey, it's giving me there. Please fill out this field. So that's because I wrote here required. If it is required, the submit will not be able to send this information to the database. Okay, one more time, we have a label. The label is linked. By the way, you see for first name. By the way, this first name is referred to the ID. This one we're going to use in another place in a minute. Okay, hope that's clear. Okay, so this is a very simple form. One very important, we had this issue with certificate 2 when we use Ajax, which is a topic for next semester for certificate 2. This is very important to add here. This is make sure that the information I'm transferring through the internet, it is encrypted and secured. If it is not secured, okay, the Django will not let you submit it. If you don't add this one here, it will not let you submit the information. So please always put it there. You don't even need to think or know how it works. I don't really care, I'll be honest. Django did it, it works, and that's all what I need to know. Inside the form, just put these things inside. That's it. Now we have a nice form. When we click submit button, let's put a name here, okay? Let's use Daniel. And let's use here, what's your last name, Daniel? Daniel? Opio, yeah, Opio, that's right. okay? And I submit, okay? See, the nice thing is after I submitted it, something happened and a new form came out. So let's look at the code. As I said, when you submit, because I click submit and I didn't put anything here in the action, it's going to go back to the same function, meaning it's coming back here. When it's coming back here, what is the method? And please notice, it says post. Everybody see it says post here? And why is it post? Because when I bet it here, I told him when somebody click, please make it that the method will be post. Post is mean sending. Okay, beautiful. So if the method is post, please notice this one. This time it is going to do these two things. And those two things are very important. I'm going to delete this part. And what are those two things? The first thing is putting the data in the table. The second thing is going to give us to go to a different page. And I will explain this one in a second. Let's look at the first one. And this is really elegant, easy. And what it really does, it says, take the customer table. And we know that the customer table, all the tables, doesn't matter, have always a property, which is an object called objects. And this object is the communications to the database. So I'm telling him, please create a new row. And when you create a new row, please add there the first name and the last name. What I want you to put in the first name, oh, this is very important. What is this one? This one, when we put the information in the first name, we put it in the input. And when it's transferring it back, we have a name. You see the name, it's first name? So when the data is sent to the server, it is coming to the server inside the post. And if I put it out by the name first name, this one is really whatever the user have entered in. So I'm telling him, please put a new row in the table. And in the table, you should have there a place for a first name, and you should have a place for a last name. For the first name, put whatever the user have typed in, and for the last name, whatever the user have typed in as the last name. This one, by the way, creating a new row. I have extra row. By the way, this one, okay, what this one does, it says, well, after you enter the data, could you please confirm to me that really the data was entered? And what this one says, redirect, take me to another place. And what does it mean? Let me say it one more time, and I will add a few couple of words. Here I created a new row for a new customer. This is the new row. And I say for this new row of customer, go to this function, and whatever this function tells you, open that page. So let's see what this function is. Okay, to do that, we have to go to the model, and the model will go to the customer, and we'll see that there is a function that called get absolute URL. This one is very similar to what we already have seen in this file. Remember that we have going to the URLs and go to the name. Here we just do it slightly different, a little more even sophisticated, I would say. It says, go to the application DB links, to the URLs of the DB links, and go to the function details. Okay, what is the details? So let's go to the URLs. Details, anybody see details? Oh, there is a detail. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, go to the detail means go to this function. Okay, let's go to this function. And this one I haven't taught you yet. This is slightly different than a function. This one is not really a function, it's a class. There's something called class view. Honestly, I am barely use class view. Some people use it a lot. The reason I'm showing it to you, so if one day, God willing, you work on a big project and you work with other programmers, which they like the style of views, you will know what they are talking about. In my opinion, according to a lot of experience that I have, it doesn't really save any time. Okay, it looks more elegant the first time, but it really doesn't save too much time. But I decided to show it to you because I think it's important you be aware that there is another way to do things besides just using functions as we did here. This is a function. You see, diff means it's a function. And here it is a class. So it's slightly different. In any case, when I clicked the button create customer, when I clicked it on this submit button, it took me to the view of this function. Sorry, to this one. And this one, he found out that it's a post. He added a new row inside the database. And then he said, go and do this function. This function says, when we go to that in the model, here is the function. It says, go to the detailed customers. I go to the detailed customers. And the detailed customers really is going to this function. Okay, I'm going to this function. By the way, it looks like, wow, my God, so many links. But as you get experience, you will see really there is no shorter way to do it. It's very elegant, very, very elegant eventually. You get the hang of it. The beginning, it's really, really confusing, but don't let it confuse you, okay? You do it several times and then you become to be really expert. The bottom line is I'm coming to this function. And this function, the way it's written, it's already a function. This one is a class view. It's inherited from a detailed view. There are really three major ones, I would say. I really should say four, okay? But the one that I did, I ignored for now the create one. I use a function, but there are really four: list view, there is a detail view, there's a creative view, there's an update view, and there's a delete view for every one of the things I can do in a table. What can I do in a table? I can look at all of them. That's the list view. I can create a new row. I create a new row without using create view. I might try to you later on how you can use a create view. But in any case, what we would like to do now, okay, we would like really to view. We're going to use a detail view. Detail view, it really makes life so easy in a sense, at least for simple applications. It just showed me the information. And what is it going to do? It's going to open really up this template. And the only things it's going to do here is going to go into the customer table, pull the data automatically. It looks like a magic. And that's why I don't really like it that much, because, you know, we used to, okay, if I want to see a specific customer, I would like to transfer their ID. And the truth of the matter, it does transfer the ID. If you had a good eye, you can see that in the detail, we do transfer the primary key here. But since we're not going to do that much in real life, we'll use a function. Don't kill yourself. I'm going to give you later on an exercise to do the same things for items, and I will help you out a little bit. But basically, this says to the customer, I have to transfer the primary key. And what really confusing when you go to the function, to the class, you don't see where is this primary key coming to. It does it behind the screen. The detail view does it automatically. So some people like it, like they don't have to think about it, which I can see why. But I like to see it. I like to see like in a function will add the primary key and then I know how to use it. Here it does it automatically. And then it transfers from the table of the customer, only that specific customer to this detail template. What do I have in this detail template? Let's look at here. We have a detail template here, by the way. Anybody see?
Nope, we don't have it there.
Yeah, so what do we do? How did it come out?
We have to create it.
In fact, it's the customer detail. You see that?
Yeah, we have the customer's detail.
We do have. Oh, here it is. Let's open it. And so this is really a very simple template now. This is just making sure it says in the title of the browser, view customer, and inside, all what we do, and we have seen that so many times, it's I'm getting a variable called customer. By the way, if I go to the view again, see the model is customer. And when I write context object name customer, it says the customer you're going to view, you can look at it as customer. And when I go to the detail, okay, what do I want to see here? I will have a title. Okay, and here, by the way, there will be something doing. Well, I will get back to that in a second. But I really want to focus on those two lines. This line, what do I have here? Or what I am saying to him, show me the first name of the customer. Here, show me the last name. And here, write first name, this is his name, write last name, this is his name, and the rest is just styling. This one already make the style to be blue, light blue, whatever, and that's it. So let's look at how the screen look like. Here we go. I do have, by the way, it's overriding it. Okay, so I have first name, this is Daniel, last name, it's putting the customer, beautiful. The only things left is really understanding what is this role. By the way, this is the title, as you can tell. Okay, customer information. And then in parentheses, I put a link. In parentheses, I put a link. How do I know that it's a link? It starts with an A, end up with an A, and subtitle in the middle. Where will it take me when I click on it? It's going to take me, this should be familiar already. Is that right? It takes me, you're going to go to the URL of the Billings application, URL of the Billings application. Please go to the list customer. Very good. Let's go and look at it. List customer, this is the function. I go to it. And in fact, we were on this list before. This is just showing me all the users. So what's going to happen now, and if I click here, I'm going to go back to the list, and I'm really there. By the way, whoever is noticing, number 28 is really Daniel Opio. Am I pronouncing it right? I hope I do.
Yes, that's the right pronunciation.
Yeah, I apologize. Okay, so it's Daniel Opio. So beautiful. Let's do it again. I click. I write here, Shio is my daughter's name. And I put Baranes. That's the template. When I click on submit, it's going to go to the same function. One more time. It's going to go to this function. It's going to see that there's a post. It's going to add it to the database. And then it's going to redirect me. Okay? And after it's redirected me, it's going to show me the data. This is really showing me the template with the detail. So let's do it. I click on it. Here we go. We got to this screen. it's really viewing the information. And finally, when I click here, it takes me back to the list. And no surprise, I get shear bar analysis. Why I'm getting shear bar analysis now here? Please notice that after I get to the customer, I'm really pulling all the data. And all the data this time already including whatever I added here. Here I added shear bar analysis. She's in the table. And when I'm in the customer again, I'm pulling all the rows, including the new one. And this one going to be sent to the template list. That's pretty cool. This is quite advanced, by the way, for certificate 1. For certificate 2, it's a little easier. For certificate 1, it's a little hard. You should go over it several times, especially with your mentor. I will do a review with you again on this one because it's very important. It will help you out also. Okay? And that's really closing the circle, by the way. It really is. Did you notice? I clicked on create, it opened a screen, I entered the data, I clicked submit. The submit, updating the database, take me back to see and view the data again. And then I do go back to the list, brings me back to the list and adding that new one right to the end. Whatever left for today, it's really going over those 3 buttons for each one of the rows. I deleted them just for convenience so we don't get an error. But now we're going to go over them. And that's going back to the customer list. And if you recall, I deleted here some text. If you remember, I'll put it back. And basically, anybody can see immediately, it really is the same. They are very similar. All of them TDs mean a new column, a new row, a new column. And this one column, second column, third column. Then I have a link. And it's going to be a nice button because I had the span with the badge that make it a nice kind of rounded edges. And the only difference here is badge info, badge primary, and badge warning. It's just changing really the colors. This is going to be blue. This one I think is red. And this one I think is green. Okay? And then inside those buttons, one will say view, one will say update, one will say delete, as we saw before. The most important things now, we do really want to understand what those buttons do. But now we are smarter. We know how to read this line. And by the way, see, they are very similar. This one, it's very similar to this one, almost similar. There's a slight difference. Here we're adding another one. We're putting the customer number. And I will explain why we do that, okay? But in all of them, we're connecting to the URLs of the deep billings application. You see, all of them start the same. But in each one of them, we're going to a different function. There are 3 different, I should really say, connections. One, it says detail customer. One of them says update customer. One of them said delete customers. So let's go and look if we do have those links inside the URL file. I go to the URL. I don't see them. Hey, I do see the detail. So the detail should work, right? The detail should work because I do have a link. The detail, where's the detail? Detail view. This one takes me to the detail. That will work. So let's delete those 2 and see how it works because we already have used that before, if you recall. Okay? Let's go back there. Okay, I should have another column here. Okay, refresh. Up. Why it doesn't like me? Detail customers with argument not found. Anybody can help me? Where was the error? Daniel, what do you say? What's the error? We have detail. Let's go and look the billings. Let's go to the billings. We go to the URLs. We have detailed customers, detailed, sorry, Control Z. But there should be a primary key here. Am I right? Am I right, Daniel?
Yes, you're right.
So, did I do something wrong here? I don't think so. There is a customer number. So, what might be wrong? I think this is fine. This is fine. And this is fine. Hey, let's go back and see again. Delete those two and leave only this one. Go back here and refresh. And go back to the list. Yep, it doesn't like me. Let's see what the error is. Let's see if anybody can catch it up. It says the error is in line 0. That really means it is here.
There is an argument of the comma not found.
Say again.
It says there is an argument of the comma not found. When you read the statement,
Yes, where in the tab?
the statement says reverse for detailed customer with arguments
Yeah, not found.
found.
Correct. Reverse for detailed customer with argument not found. That's strange. Let's see. We do have a URL here. We do have customers with a primary key. We do. And it's detailed. It goes to the same function if you see. This one has a primary key.
It does not have the
I have an idea, it will sound a little strange, but it should work. I think we even copied it. Then we copied it from the one that we used before. Let's look at what we did last semester. Just save some time. I don't think we have an error there. No, not this one. And not this one. Let's go to the billings right here. Let's go into the URL. And you know, in fact, the truth of the matter, will copy all of them. Create, we already have update, detail, and detail, those three. Let me take all those three. Okay, and let me close this one. Let me go to this URL, and I think those three we will need them. And I think this is exactly the same. And that worked before. That's what's surprising me. So I don't think the error is here. But this has worked fine before. If there is an error, most likely it is in here. Okay? And see URL number. Tell you what I would do, just for fun of it. I will delete the whole thing, or copy the whole thing for myself. I will remove this one. And let's see if I'm getting, I will remove this one too. And just to see if I do get the customer number. Let's see, customer dot customer number, correct? That should really give me the customer number. I should really get an error now. Let's see in a second if we're getting an error. Okay, hold a second. It's probably cooking. Why it doesn't like us now? Go to the URLs. And what does it? Ah, of course, my mistake. Let's go and we really should have also the views. Let's go to the views, and in the views, we really should have also, not this one, customer index. Okay, we have the index, we have create. Which one is that one? Okay, we should really add also the views. I didn't copy the views from last semester. I should really copy also those views. And the views we should really have, we should have the detail view we already have, customers we have. Those two we really should copy them as well. I will explain them, don't worry about it, okay? I'm just kind of copying some views that I will need in a minute. Otherwise I will get an error. And let's see now. Hope I'm not missing the links. I do miss the links. So he's missing the update. So I will add them here, update. He doesn't like me. Should go into here and update customer. I should have an update customer. It is right in this view. Yep, this is good. And this should already do it here. Update. Oh, you see it come out automatically. And then what else I need? Delete. It will come up also immediately. Okay, good. Now, those one has the function. I didn't explain those functions. I just copied those, in fact, the classes, but I will come and explain to them. I just didn't want to get an error. That's why I put it there, okay? Let me go even, in fact, I can go here now. I will leave it this way. I just want to see that I'm getting numbers here. So we don't really get an error there. We should already get an error. Okay, beautiful. You see, we are getting the numbers. So the numbers is really going in the right way, okay? So if you see here, I just put the number. I'm gonna go back and try to find out what happened here, okay? Let's look at that one. It's going to the deep billings, detail customer, and I'm getting the right number. So I don't really know why it's not working. Let's see one more time. Refresh. And I'm getting an error. Why is that? Anybody has a clue?
Hello?
Yes? Do you have an idea, Brenda?
Not really, but I think it's saying that codes are missing somewhere.
Which one do you think? Let's look at it again. You just said that the reverse for detail customer.
With the argument.
Argument, it has an argument, it should have an argument, not found. But the argument is weird. There's, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You saw, because what patient tried to reach is really trying to reach this one, and that's really what I want him to reach. But it is requiring a digit. So, but I am transferring digit, and we know it worked last semester. So this is very weird. We'll see in a second what's happening. Let's remove this one for a second. Let's see the second one. Should get the same error. If there is, and then we might, let's see that. Yeah, we're getting the same error, which makes sense. Okay, so what might be the reason? I think that we did very similar to what we did last time. Let's look at this index from last semester, and it should be similar. And let's take those 4. I think that's what we did last time, didn't we? Just copy them. And we went to here. And we just remove this one. And I can't really tell what the error. It seems right to me. I got the C right to there. Customer number. Customer number is a numeric. And here it says I need the primary key to be a digit. So that's fine. And so I don't really see any reason for it to be an error. Yep, same error detail. It's very strange. $24. Let's see, 24. 24. Customer. I know why. Hold a second, bear with me. Yes, I do know why, and I will. I tell you what I would do. Okay, I know exactly why. Bear with me a second. I'm gonna remove this one for a second. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's go back and copy the one from last semester. Yeah, this one, I need to add another variable here in for it to work. But I do want to bring it back to be like what we did last semester, and then I will explain it in an additional way. Okay? So, apology. But this is a good one. It's a good, it's already an error as much. I'm going to put this function that's called customers. Where is it? Not this one, not this one, not this one. Okay, customer, upper customer. This should be one more. It doesn't have a customer. Here we go. I'm going to copy this one. Okay. By the way, you see this is hidden because I was playing with it last time. I'll play with it again this semester as well. Okay. We'll play with that twice. And then you can see both methods. Okay. I will open this one. And it really should work now. Okay. And I will explain. Don't worry about it. I promise I will explain. Doesn't like me at all now. What it says now, customers view. Now this one shouldn't be here. And let's see again. And there should be here two things. I should put customers view, and I should really remove this one because I'm not going to use this one. Okay? And I have to change customers view. Bear with me 1 second. I'll fix it in a second. I'm debating with myself here, I do. That was me a second. Sorry about it. Apology. Let me take the whole thing here. Delete, update, create, remove this one, and detail. Okay, and let's do customer detail and a list view. Okay, let's see. Delete, update, and create. Okay, and then we have customer detail. We need those 4, and then we need the customer list. So we'll have this one. I will leave this one as a list. I just close it this way, and let's go back to here and go back to. Let's go back to the URL, and in the URL I'm going to copy those ones, and I'm going to go over the whole things again, so everything will be clear. We have the index, we have the customers, that's good, and after the customers we have create, exactly those 4. Beautiful. Good. Apology. Really is my apology. Let's do it one more time. Okay? Let's say now that everything's worked first, and then we go over everything. Let's see what happened here. What are we missing here? Customers. Customers, I have to put it back. Good. Now it should be okay. Good. Let's go back and let's see that everything does work, and then I will go over and explain everything. Okay. He doesn't like us for not some reason. I have no idea why. That's very strange. Very, very strange. Daniel, do you have an idea? Here's a render, customers list, customers, and the customers is fine. Correct? Anybody? Brenda, what do you say?
How about go to the views and we see where the error is?
Yeah, let's do that. See, first of all, I think that it already is right here. This is the problem is if this is really the one that, and this one is expecting, see, each one of those is expecting an ID, and there is an ID. And it does transfer, so the ID is already going there, okay? But it seems like it's saying I cannot find something that matched that in the URLs. So
How about in the
let's close everything. You know what? Maybe we're confusing files by mistakes. That could happen. Let's close everything. Make sure we are on the same one. Now let's go back to the DB links. In the DB links, in the URLs, everything seems really fine. The viewers, it seems to me fine. Let's go back to the customer list. And in the customer list, we're viewing that there is a mistake. What I will do, I'll just take this one out for a second and bring it back in a second. Let's open again as we did before. It should work. Okay, it does work. Everything seems like working. Let's just put back, I will put it here so we don't lose it. And I will go step by step. How about that? How about we take this one, okay?
Okay.
And see what does it give. It tells us, it doesn't know what it is. So we'll go step by step. You know, this is a normal life, by the way. Whoever never had experience with that, it's like, let's put TD here. I put it here and let's see what does it do. It gives us an error, okay? If it's expected, this one is saying, I'm giving you the index you're looking for, but for some reason it doesn't like us. See, it doesn't like us. This one, it says like, I don't really know if we're missing. This should be this way. I don't think so. I really don't think so. No, it shouldn't. Yeah, it does recognize, but it shouldn't. I know. This is fine. Let's take the number away. What does it do now? Yeah, it tells me with no argument not found. I mean, it is asking for an argument. You see that? Why it is asking for an argument? Because if we go to the URLs, in the URLs, we do have detail. What is the detail? Customer update, delete, detail. And here it's customer detail. So it is looking for a detail, but which kind of a detail is asking for? That's one of the reasons I really don't like those one, honestly. Okay? In a minute, I will show you how you can do the same things, you know, in a way that it will not give me that error. So if I will change this one from a class to say the here is the class, let me do it, you know. That's one of the reasons why I don't really like those classes. Let's just do a div, and we do customer detail and request. And I will put here PK. That's what is going to transfer to me, right? Customer detail. In fact, here I'm going to change that in a second. I'm going to have a PK. That's right. Okay, I will fix that one as well in a second. Now, just to paste for now, just to make sure that I'm not getting any error. You know what? Let me do it the whole thing. Sorry. Let me do the whole thing. I will do the whole thing as it should be. Okay? And I will put here as it's this one, it should be really that detail. This one gives me really more control to know exactly what's the problem. And I'm going to call that customer. And I'm going to call that one a customer. And in a minute, I'm going to create the customer. Underscore equal to customer table dot object dot get, and in here I will do a ID equal to PK. So this is what it should put up the customer, put it in here. Let's say if we're getting the same error first of all. We have the customer detail now, this way, but it is not a view, it is a function. So this one, you have a control on everything what's happening, and you don't need to assume customer detail. We do have control B, we'll take us, correct? So I just have to fix this one.
Dr. Amos,
I should take this one away. Yeah, go ahead.
Daniel is saying something.
Yeah, you wrote PX instead of PK in views.
Say again.
Yeah, in views you made a mistake. Instead of writing primary key, you wrote
I can't hear you, sweetie. I'm sorry.
He's saying in the views, instead of writing
PK.
PK, you wrote PX.
PX. Instead of writing primary.
Instead of writing the PK, you wrote
This one it's a primary key PK.
In views.
And
In
what
the
did I
view.
write?
PX.
you wrote PX.
PX.
I wrote PK.
Equals to objects.get.
In here, you're right. Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Good catch. Okay. Let's say at least not to get the same error. Okay. Which error am I getting now? I don't get it. This is really, really strange. This is very, very, very strange because it seems like it does. You see customer request, customers objects all. Hold a second. Which line is this one? This is line 14. This is very strange to me. It never happened to me. 14, here it is. Hold on. Hold a second. Customer list. It goes to billings, detail customer, detail customer, detail customer. And hold a second, I never like to call it this way. I always like, as you know me, detail customer, that's the way I like functions to be called. So I'm going to take this one and go back to here, move it to here, Control V. I'm going to put it this way. And I tell you more, I'm not going to, should work. This should work, I have no idea. Okay, this is okay, let's go back to here, refresh, and I'm getting the same error. In the list, customers, why I'm getting here? Line 14, right in here. Why are we getting an error here? Let's see, am I right or I'm wrong? This is strange. Shouldn't be an error. That's very strange. I think we're looking in the wrong places. The error is in the customers. You see that? Line 14. But what's wrong here? It goes to the list. And it's like it doesn't like our list. When I go to here, is rendering this one. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, let me try another things. Let's see if it will take it in a different way. Very strange. Never had that error before. Sorry about that. Hold a second. This one is okay. Customer list. Very strange. Data customer. Let's go to the data customer. Hold a second. My mistake now. I should really add back. I should add back here the number. It's looking for the number. We didn't put the number there. Let's go back again. Oh, it still doesn't like it. This time it's giving me the same error. It must be an obvious one, and we're probably missing it for no reason. URL, dependings, and this is the number. This should work. And let me go to the URL. It's funny, in our last session, we're screwing it up, but that's life. That's happened all the time. Create, we did, update. All of three getting the same error. How about if I will remove this one? Let's see if I do it this way. If it will like me or not. Let's see if that will work. Let's see now if it will take it or not. I'm changing a link to, what does it say now? This is the error. I think the error is not in there. I have a feeling that the error is here and I'm not seeing it. Hold a second, you want debellings, and I'm going to here. Yeah, it doesn't like me for some reason. Strange. Never really had that. Okay, I apologize. In fact, really, this is supposed to be the last session. So really my apologies. So I will make up a video, and next time we meet, okay, I will try to find out what the error is. Unless somebody sees the error, Daniel, Brenda, Jimmy, Jeremiah, anybody? It's, in my opinion, it's supposed to be here. This is the error is here. Maybe it's.
Something to say.
I think we're copying really the code that worked perfectly last semester. So I don't see what, am I misspelling something?
Dr. Amos.
Yeah,
Daniel has something to contribute.
go ahead.
Daniel.
I was just asking whether we can, instead of writing.
Hold a second, Daniel.
Yes.
We are so stupid. I'm so stupid. My God, I can't believe my eyes. Yeah, we copied from last year. Last year we used the C.
Yes.
But it really should be customer. That's so stupid of us. We had no error really. We just wanted to be a little more explicit, so we use customers here, and we didn't change the C to customers. This is so stupid of us. Of me, sorry about it. Yeah, see, this is so ridiculous. Amazing. Okay, this is kind of things, please, you know, the lessons from this, I'm glad it happened. Honestly, I'm glad because those kind of things always happen. And many times I say it's always good to work as a team because sometimes you get blind. Honestly, I think I got blind. I didn't even notice. It was a C here. I changed this to be really nicer customer in customers. And before we kind of did a C, but therefore, that's why it didn't really work. So I'm gonna fix the whole things now, putting back the whole things. And there really wasn't no error there, okay? Besides that this one should be a C. It should be a customer because we changed this one from C to a customer from last semester. I think this is better to really write customers than C. And this is just proving that to be organized is really, it's worth. Last semester we went too fast. Now we shouldn't really get any error, okay? But that's okay. I'm really glad it happened. And it just reinforced that working in a team is always good. By the way, here we go. And if we, by the way, if we go to the view, it's now while we're getting an error, ID into field, choices are, yeah, hold a second. Let's see if I destroy those functions. I changed them here. Did I? Oh, everything is fine. Let's put everything back as it was. Is that okay? Customers view. Customers, that's good. Control Z. Okay. I think this should be okay now. Hopefully I didn't make any mistake. And why do we get an error? URLs. We're missing customers detail and we don't have it in the view. Customers detail. Yeah, I changed the function here. So what I'm going to do is take that one away. By the way, we can see in a minute you can use the same things. Control this, put that one back. And I'm going to go over that in a second. Hopefully now everything's fine. Good. Let's see here. Refresh. Let's go view and hit works. Okay. Let me go back really. I made a mess, apology, but this is part of life. Okay? Fair enough. It was so stupid. It was really a stupid mistake. For last semester, we did for C in customers and C represent customer. And when I copied the code from last year, I didn't really notice that this year we really did, which we wrote it the way I usually do. And I think this is the right way to write it, in fact, this way. And you can get a blind, you know, when you work by yourself, you get a blind, and that's why you really should work as a team. Sometimes you miss something, your colleague will see it, and vice versa. So it's always good to work as a team, and fortunately, Daniel, Brandine, you guys helped to find that obvious mistake. But there really was no error in the code beside such a stupid typo, I should call it. But that's life. Sometimes you can spend a half day, and that's part of life. Over time, that's why I really try to do, when you do for loop, kind of make a plural, singular here and make plural here, reducing the errors. This is really was a stupid error. Anyway, let's go back and understand this one. By the way, this is really easy. The view, when I click on the view, it's really just opening the same screen we have seen before. Okay, it's just saying that I say Amos 1. By the way, if I don't like really view, I cannot really change because it's only a view. So what I would like, it's the update. I don't want to see Amos 1, so I click on update and I got an error, thank you. So what's the error this time? Billing, One, this is good, this is good. Template does not exist. Anybody can guess why I'm getting an error? Because we don't have the template, we didn't really copy the template, correct?
Correct.
So let's copy the template again from last year. And let's see, where is the debillings? Where is the debillings? Here we go. And this is a normal error. I should get an error, definitely. And you know what, as we copying, which one we were missing? The view, is that right? So data entry, we have this one. Customer detail, we do have. Okay, let's go one by one. Confirm delete, I need to copy. I don't have it here. Customer form, I don't have either. So let me edit you. Update form, do we have? No. Customer detail, we do. Customer list, we do. Entry customers, we do. Index, we have. Okay, so let's copy all those three, just to make sure we don't and passed. Good. Now let's go back again. Okay, let's close this one. We look at those ones in a second. Let's go back to here. And I really shouldn't see, I should really get. And here we go, I do get a form to update the data, okay? I will do it and I will explain, okay? First of all, if I'm updating, I really don't want Amos 1, I want Amos. I click update, is updating, and is really opening the screen to show me that really the update went through. I go back to the list, and indeed it's Amos 1. Let's do it again. Update. This time I'll just screw it up. I'll write 6, a lot of 6. I'm just making again. I'm updating. It's giving me a screen showing me the update. I'm going back to the list. I'm saying that this is already updated. Of course, it's wrong one more time. And this time we'll go over to the code, okay? Let's look at the button update. The button update. In the button update, here we go. This is really this is the button. I always like to put this one a little bit inside, okay? So it will, it's easier for me to see. It's a button says update, and the code that is going to activate, it's nothing but this one. It's going to go to the URL of the deep billings application to this link. So let's do that. We're going to the URLs. Where is update? Here's update. It's going to go to this view. Okay, I'm going to go Control B. And that's what I really wanted. That's what I said. I want you to be used to see something a little different. Okay, here in the view and the update view, it's a little tricky and really beautiful. Django have done it. I usually don't use it, especially when we use really sophisticated, advanced JavaScript as we see next semester. But whoever is really starter, this is a good one. It says, okay, Django already have made for you a nice screen called update view. You can inherit from it. All what you have to tell him, which table do you want it to be in? Is smart enough when I'm in the URL transferring to the update the primary key, is very smart enough to know to find the exact customer from this customer table. Then he's going to make a form for us of first name and last name. What do I mean by that? Making a form. If you notice here, when I click update, let's update Amos again, I'm getting a little form. This is considered as a form because it's giving me something to change, update button and cancel button. This one, it does automatically for us right by writing here fields, first name, last name. You recognize those ones exist in the database, in the table. How does it do it? It's not really that clear. That's one of the reasons I really don't like this method. But you should be familiar, okay? And the way it works is you inherit from this template, this class. You're telling him which database it is. You automatically know which row it is in there. And he's making you a table so you can update the files. And on which template to put it in, he put it in this template. So let's open this template. And here it is. Very simple. One more time, please notice. Please notice. You know what? This one I would put down. Exactly like the template we used before. Please notice, it says method post. Okay? Not putting anything, it means going to the same function. Okay? Secondly, I put an input. Okay? There's a little trick here which make it slightly confusing. Honestly, that's one of the reasons I don't like this method. It does everything automatically. This is like a magic. It's a magic. If you notice this one called form.sp, this is making really the form. This is making those part, first name and this one automatically. Then I have two buttons. Those two buttons are done here. I have an input for submit, and I have an input for cancel. If you see, this is the value says cancel, and here it says submit, update. I have an update and cancel. As if I am a fan of that, you will see whoever's staying for the next session, you will see, we're gonna do this one totally different. But you should be familiar with the fact to know that when you use a view, okay, it will create automatically a form for you. And inside this template is transferring a form for you automatically. Okay, so when you're getting into here, all what you have to do is form.sp is creating automatically this part. That's the form. These one, two buttons that I'm adding are those two. Okay, if honestly, don't panic if you do not understand that 100%. It's not the end of the world. We'll do it in many other ways. But I strongly recommend you do go over it. But don't panic if you feel like it's hard or not 100% clear. Don't panic, okay? There's much better ways to do it, okay? Apologize, I missed that C with the customers, which got us all confused. Let's go over the last button, okay? When I do, let's see if I remove all those C, it's gonna update, and it's taking me to here, okay? From here, I'm clicking here, and I'm back here. How does it know to take me back, okay? How does it know to take me back to the list? So if I go to this template, okay, when you go to this template, the answer is right there. On click, and then, by the way, when I'm clicking on it, okay, it's really saying window history. It goes back one back. I won't get even into that too much. Just, if you need to use it, just copy it. It really doesn't worth to spend too much time. It's you know, the beauty of this one, when I click the button, is transferring the data. When I click the input on here, by the way, is transferring the data, takes me back and updating the stuff. When updating, then it will take me back. The other one, sorry about that, let me go back to that. If I go to the cancel, this one just take me back to here. So the cancel button, one more time, the cancel button does nothing. Taking me, go back one. go back to where you came from. One more time, go back to where you came from. This one is right, this button. What happened in this one? When I click the submit, in fact, is going back to here. Is going back to update customer. And he automatically sent me to the form that he already automatically, like a magic, is taking me to the detailed customer. He already know, by the way, you can tell here, I kept it here, by the way, okay? If you see, the reason I wrote it to myself, it does it automatically, but I didn't really rely on it. What it does automatically is taking you to this one. And I don't like, to this one. And I don't really like those automatic stuff because it's a source of trouble, okay? So in the future, you will see, we will learn in JavaScript that you can use a much better method to do the same things, okay? Let's go to the last one, which is really very, very similar. I want to delete a row. Let's go back. I want to delete a row. I click on here. What's going to happen? When I click on here, what's going to happen is exactly what it says in the customer detail list. When I click on detail, it's going to do this one. And what is it going to do? It's going to take the number of the customer, transferring it to this link. What is this link? Go to the URLs of these applications. Here it is. Go to the billing application, the URLs of this. Go to this function, to this link. So let's go here. Where's delete? Here it is. Takes me to this view. Control B. By the way, it's transferring the number to this one. And all what it does, it really is automatically, okay? Automatically know what to do to delete that row. And then when he's done, he's going to send me back to the list customer, which is really the list of the customer. So let's do it. Let's delete myself. Number one, I click here. It's asking for confirmation. I confirm, enter, is deleting the row. Fair enough. This is really concluding our course, really. The next stage is, I would like to have another session, and what I would like to do in the next session is to do very similar structure. Let me share. You know, we have a table of customers. When I go to the billings, I have customer button. I would like to have another button here, say items. Fair enough? When I click on items, I will get a screen just like this one, but instead of saying create new customer, I wanted to say create new item. And here, I would like to see the number of the item, the name of the item, and those three buttons. And all of them to work very, very similar. That's a really nice exercise. It shouldn't be really that hard. Is that right? Let me guide you a little bit, and I do want you to go with the students, everyone with his own student. Make some time, and maybe we'll have a session, okay? Even tomorrow, I don't know if tomorrow is possible, but let me know. If not, we'll do it after I come back. Maybe we'll do it after I come back from Uganda and see you. But this is really a nice exercise. Why is it a nice exercise? You can really take whatever you have here. You know, let me delete the whole things here. And you really can duplicate everything. By the way, this was just for illustration. This is just really for backup, just to know how it works. And you can tell yourself, okay, what the difference really between customers and items? There's no difference. I have a customer. I just have 3 lines. Let's look at the items. Okay, items, what do we have items? I have item number, it's like customer number. Item name, so I only have item name, I don't have first name, last name, so no difference. I have the same things here. So in order to make this one look like the customers, I probably should have a similar function like this one. Is that right? Everybody agree? See, customer has a function get absolute URL. In order for me to make the items the same, I probably will do the same things, copy, and so you can really even duplicate the items to be very similar to the customer, and it will work. It should work. You will go to deep billings. This time, instead of detailed customer, how will you call it? Detailed item, isn't it? Am I right? Anybody? No?
You can hear. You can hear.
Good. So I got the same function. Did I finish everything? No, but at least the database, the customer, and the item look the same. By the way, you can change. This is just the ordering. If you want the order to be by the item number, you can really copy even this one, and then you will organize the items just in the same way. Control V, and in here, I can just change this one to instead of customer, I can just write item. So the order will be always organized by the item number. Okay, database, I did the item exactly the same. How do I do the URLs and how do I do the views? Now it's really easy. Why is it easy? Anybody can help? I'm just giving you all the ingredients, but I would like you to do it. I can take all of those, am I right? Copy them. And what can I do now? Anybody? Can I change every place to say items? Am I right?
Yes.
This is easy. Is that right? I can say item. It should work. I'm just teaching you how to copy. Okay? And you know me, I love to copy. I can write item. Everything's create item instead of customer. Fair enough? I can go update item. I can do delete item. I can do detail item. Fair enough? What else? Here again, I change this one. Item. Everywhere, I will change to item. Because they are the same structure. So it should work without me being too afraid. And this one I will say item detail. Fair enough? Here I will do the same things. I will call that one items. I will call delete items. Does that make sense, Daniel?
Yes, it does.
Update items. Did I miss any?
No?
Now, this one, it really is a duplicate of customers. Now, since I duplicated here, what do I need to do now? Let's duplicate the same things in here. What do I need? I need customer. By the way, this should be items. I missed one here. Fair enough? So every place it says customer, I should really type items beside the index. Why it doesn't like me? Yeah. So what should I do now? I should write, let's just do this way. Items Fair enough? What the next should be? Create. Create what? Item, is that right? What next? Item. Detail. You see, I'm copying exactly the same things. Next. Update. Item. Right? And then finally, delete. Item. So far, so good?
Yes.
This is nice. Okay, let's just make sure I didn't really screw up anything. And this one, it should be just fine. The only problem is I don't have those functions. No surprise, I'm getting those lines here because we haven't done it in the view. I go to the view. What am I supposed to do in the view? Take all those 5, is that right?
Yes.
And copy them. And what am I supposed to do now? Everywhere it says customer, I should change to items. Is that right? To item. Now, what am I supposed to do here? This really should be. Everybody agree?
Yes.
Can you do it yourself?
Yes.
That's pretty easy, isn't it?
It's easy.
Now, the only things, in order for you, so you don't get all these recurring errors, you know that you need to bring not only customer, you need to bring the item from the models. Now the whole things will go away. See, items is nicely, it takes the items here. The billings, this one I'm going to change to items. Items. Fair enough. And here again, where it says customers will be items, and that should be items. Fair enough. I did one function, you will do the rest. Okay, very similar. Now, what else left to do? And then everything should work. We should really take all the templates of customers and change them to
Items.
item, exactly. So when it says here items list, I really should take the customer list. Where is customers list here? Here it is. Right click, copy, right click, copy, paste. And I'm going to change this one to items list. Open it up. It opened. And now, very simple. Of course, I would like it to say items. And then everywhere else, billings, that's fine. I don't need to change that. That's fine. Next, 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 next. Oh, this is easy. Customer name, item name. Fair enough? Am I right?
Yes.
Now it's where we were stupid to do the mistake. We'll do item in items. Fair enough? And every place here, we just change its with item. Every place. And then everything should work. Everybody got the idea?
Yes.
Of course, if I run it, mine will not work because I didn't finish the whole things. But you should. So please do that for our next time with certificate 1. And start doing review the material. Because a week after I come back, we will do the exam for certificate 1. And please do, I know that it's a little, it's a lot of work, but really very important that they will have a really good grasp on certificate 1. You know, certificate 2, it's even harder. So I'm counting on the student of certificate 2 to actually help them.